Trust. What do you trust in? Do you trust yourself? Do you trust God? Do you trust other people? Your wife, your girlfriend, your best friend? You will find in life that if you don't trust other people, it's really a reflection of yourself. You don't trust yourself. Now, I'm not saying you should trust everyone, but if you find yourself not trusting people in general, it's a good indication that you don't trust yourself. But that's not what I'm here to talk about. I'm talking about trusting in the process, trusting God, trusting the process, divinity, the universe, whatever you want to call it. Trusting that you cannot see the big picture. And if you don't understand what I mean, look back on your life. If you lived a while anyway, you will see times where you didn't get what you wanted, or so you thought. It was something you really wanted. Thought you couldn't live without it. Maybe that girl, maybe that ex-wife. And then down the road, as you looked back in retrospect, you realize that you're much better off without it. That what you really wanted is what you have today. But you couldn't see it at the time because you were so caught up in the emotions of desire or need. Many times in our lives, we can't really see where we need to go or what we really need. And that's when you have to trust that when things don't seem to be working out the way you think they should, that if you have a goal, a journey, a destination that you're moving towards, things are working out exactly the way they need to work out to get you to where you want to go. Not to where you think you want to go, but to where you really want to go. There's a part of you, call it the God part of you if you like, that knows exactly the process that needs to unfold to get you to your destination. Your biggest job is to cooperate and not fight, kick, scream, and throw a fit along the way. My neighbor's moving some stuff around here, so I'm trying to accept the process here. Everything works out just in the right time, in the right way, even if you don't think it is. That's where the trust comes in. You have to trust that maybe, just maybe, there are forces greater than you and something more knowledgeable and something that has more insight than you have that is moving you exactly along the way you need to go to get you to where you want to be. I'll give you an example. I had a client text message my son last night. He thought it was my phone. And we had some problems with the job we did for him. There's some peeling on the roof. He's kind of upset. But I know that I did everything right. We didn't cut any corners. We did a good job. We used good materials. So what can I say? We'll go back up there. We'll see what's going on. And we'll take care of it. And of course, I called him this morning. He was very, very, very cordial, easy to get along with. But on the text message, he seemed a little aggravated. But many times people will send you messages that they wouldn't actually say to you in person or on the phone in a telephone conversation. So, does that seem to be something going in the direction of my goals? Oh, because it could cost me money. I would have to go spend time and money to make this right. But we have to look at these things as an opportunity. What is an opportunity for? I don't know. If nothing else, to provide service to my customer. Service after the sale. And this produces goodwill down the road. And you may never connect this with something down the road. But let me tell you this, when I go to speak to prospective clients, I don't tell them what a good job I do. I don't tell them that I'm going to provide you service. You can trust me. We do good work. If something gets broken, we're going to tell you. I don't tell them any of that stuff. Now, these are all things that we will do, but I don't tell them. But actually, I do tell them, but not with verbal communication. Somehow, some way, they pick that up. I don't have to tell them that I want to have a relationship with them, that I think about my clients when I don't see them, that I wonder how they're doing, that when I was living out of the country, I thought about my clients and I miss my clients, that I enjoy talking to my clients, that I enjoy bidding jobs. Even if I don't get the job, I enjoy meeting people. I enjoy the relationships I build with them. I don't have to tell them that. They know it because it's true, and I'm sincere about that. Some of you and I have had people call me up and tell me, well, I'm not so much worried about your business. I just like forming good relationships with my clients. When someone tells me that, I often wonder, because if that's what they really were, they wouldn't have to tell me that. I would know it. The communication between people has very little to do with the words we speak, but has much more to do with who we are as we speak. And that comes into the trust. People will trust you if you are who you say you are. And they will trust you more by your actions, more by who you are, what you present yourself to be when you meet them. Not by your words, but by who you are, the essence of who you are. The essence of who you are comes out. What you are speaks so loudly I can't hear what you're saying. Have you ever heard that? It's so true. Be your authentic self. That seems to be a catchphrase people use a lot now. But how can you be your authentic self if you don't know yourself? How many of you spend time in self-contemplation? And if you don't trust yourself and you don't trust other people, why is that? Shut the radio off, shut the TV off, shut your phone off. Find a quiet place, maybe out in nature or in your home. Maybe you can put on some non-verbal relaxing music and sit with yourself and think about your life and everything in your environment, because everything in your outer world is a direct reflection of who and what you are. Yes, even that wife that keeps nagging at you, that you haven't slept with for 6 months, and who you wonder why you married, is a reflection of you. You created that. Or I would say you co-created that. And that neighbor that has that dog that barks all night. Yes, you brought that into your life. Disruption. In the outer world means you have disruption in the inner world. What is it in you that causes it to be reflected in your outer world? What's going on inside of you? Most people don't want to do that. They want to look within themselves. They want to blame the outer world. As I said, if you have people in your life that you don't trust, people who in your life who are not trustworthy, what in you is not trustworthy? What part of you is dishonest? Oh, it's easy to point our fingers at the politicians and the media, and I've done it, and the CDC and all those people involved in that situation in the last 2 or 3 years. But you couldn't see that in other people were it not inside yourself. I was just thinking the other day about my past relationship, and I felt like the other person didn't represent to me what she actually was. But then again, I had to look at myself. Did I truly represent myself for who I was? Now, I'm not saying you should go out there and just tell everybody everything about you. That's not what I'm saying. There goes the FedEx man. That started out with a dream, and people laughed at him. Federal Express. But that's another video. Who are you? What are you representing to the world? Is it your true self? Or is it what you want people to think you are? If you're not being your authentic self and representing your authentic self, then don't be surprised if you meet people in your life, in your outer world, who are superficial, who don't really seem to be who they say they are. You can blame those people and get angry. You can blame women and get angry at women. Oh, they're fake. They use fake eyelashes, fake hair, fake this, fake that. They act like they're this and they act like they're that. But why are those people drawn into your life? I'll tell you why. Because there's fakeness inside of you. And I'm not pointing the finger at you guys. I've done the same thing. This is just as much what I need to hear as what maybe you need to hear. Anything that I share with you guys just reinforces in me what I need to look at. And as I said the other day, I was thinking about that in my last relationship, about why I felt like, or I believed that she misrepresented herself to me. Now, whether that was intentional or not, I don't know. We always all put on our best self when we're in a relationship. And of course, we don't want to be pouring out our defects of character to the other person. But are we really being ourselves? Some people say, oh, you can't present your real self to someone, they won't like you. Well, be who you are. But before you can do that, you have to know who you are. As I said, few people spend any time in self-contemplation. They never question themselves. They never ask themselves, who am I? What do I stand for? I heard someone say once, if you don't stand for something, you'll fall for anything. What are your beliefs? What is important to you? Do you have morals? What are your moral values? What's important to you in your life? What do you want to become? What do you want to achieve? And remember, it's not so much about what you achieve or the material things you acquire. It's what you become in the process. What are you becoming today? Are you becoming anything more than you were yesterday? Are you thinking the same things today that you thought yesterday? If you are, how can you expect anything to change or be different tomorrow? As obvious as that seems to you and I, people do it every day. They don't take in any new information into their mind. They don't read anything new. They don't listen to anything new. They do the same thing every day and then get frustrated and wonder why their life is no different than it was yesterday. What are you taking into your mind today? What are you taking into your body? What kind of food are you eating? Are you overweight? Are you out of shape? Do you feel miserable? What kind of actions did you take yesterday to make yourself feel better today? And along with that, I'll say this. What I did yesterday will not help me as much today as what I do today. The food I ate yesterday will not keep me nourished today. The things I took into my mind yesterday will not nourish my mind today. I have to constantly be feeding myself with good food. I have to constantly be feeding my mind with good input. Your mind is like a computer, and you are the programmer. Your conscious is the programmer. You want to be more trustworthy, you want to trust other people, you want to draw people into your life that you trust. Trust yourself. Learn to trust yourself. Learn to depend on yourself. Learn to depend upon your God, whatever that may mean to you. In my life, when everything goes to hell, and I've done everything I can do, and I don't know what to do, because there's nothing more I can do, I realize that maybe I'm just supposed to wait and trust. And that's what I do. I learn to trust. Trust in what you say. For me, it's God. I almost hate to use that term because it connotates religion. I'm not a religious guy. And when I say God, I mean some force or power that I can't even explain. I've read the Bible. I've read some of the Quran. And I take things out of there. I'm kind of like, take what you need and leave the rest, what I believe to be true. Because anyone who reads these books or any type of religious books, it's the same religious book, but each of us sees it through our filters of perception, through things that have happened in our lives. I grew up believing there was an old white-headed guy up there punishing God, and he was just marking the score down, gonna get me, send me to hell in a handbasket. I don't believe in that today. I believe in a power of love. And you may say, but look at all the evil things that happen in the world. Yes, there are things that happen in the world that seem terrible, that are terrible from our point of view. But we view things from this corporal, is that the word? Our materialistic life view. That we think this body and these material things that we have, that's the life and that's all there is. But I believe there's a much broader perspective than that. And of course, the older I get, I know one day I won't be here anymore, but some of you will be. And you will go on and share things maybe you've learned from me with someone else. I hope you do. Things that I've shared with you that help you. And as I said, whatever I tell you guys, take what you need and leave the rest. Try it out. If it works for you, use it. If it doesn't, discard it. What works for me may not work for you. But always be taking in different input of things that you believe will lead you in the direction to where you want to go. Trust that things that happen throughout the day are opportunities for you to grow, to learn, to move closer to whatever it is you came here to do in this life. We each have a mission, a purpose. And until we find that mission or purpose and move toward it, we will lead a life of quiet desperation and a very unfulfilled life. Life truly, I believe, has no meaning except the meaning you give to it. What does your life mean to you? And unless we find meaning in what we do and how we live, we will lead a life of, once again, quiet desperation, unhappiness, lack of fulfillment. As a man, and I can't speak for women because I'm not a woman, as a man, these things are important for us. As a man, you need to challenge yourself. Because as you challenge yourself and you overcome these challenges, or even if you don't overcome it the first time, this builds a character, a strength of character that you can get as a man in no other way. As you guys know, I boxed amateur and professional. I did triathlons. I've ran marathons. I've done a lot of different things in life. I've faced a lot of challenges, and I've fallen down many times. But I've always gotten back up. Sometimes it was difficult to get back up, but I got back up. And that's what I want to tell you. Always get back up when you get knocked down and never give up and keep moving forward. And as you look back on your life, the memories you have will be, I can't even describe to you how great they will be for you. And it takes every one of those memories, the good, the bad, the ugly, the indifferent, the discouragements, the victories, the disappointments. and you will have a treasure when you get older. I'm telling you, that's what it takes. A treasure you cannot buy with money. My life is, I look back on my life at 62 years old, and it's fantastic, man. And it's still going. I'm not done yet. I have big goals, big vision. I wouldn't even tell you about it because you may think I'm crazy. But I don't need to tell you. I can tell you about it when it comes to pass. And as I said, if it doesn't come to pass, I'll get something better. And that's just the way life works. And I'm telling you that from experience, an experience I've learned in life that maybe you don't have yet. People shared with me, older people, who knew more than I did about life. It's like when you go to work somewhere, you don't know anything about it. It's your first day on the job, man. You're nervous, you're scared, and some guy comes along, he's got 20 years, he's patient, he's kind, and he shares his knowledge with you and gives you a little bit of confidence that you're going to be able to make it through the day. And that's the way it is with life. I'm just passing on to you what I've learned, hoping you can use that to make your life better today. That your life will be more full, more enjoyable, more victorious. And by sharing that and giving that to you, as I've said before, it comes back to me multiplied. How did I learn that? I learned that the hard way. Because for the first 30 years of my life, I only thought of myself. I would not take the time out to share anything with you unless I was getting something directly back from you immediately. What's in it for me? Now I realize if I want something for me, I've got to give it to you. It's not about what you can go out and get in life, it's about what you can go out and give in life. And then it comes back to you multiplied, running over in great abundance. Not immediately and not back directly from the person you give to, but it will come back. It's a universal law, God's law if you like, just like gravity. None of us can see gravity, but we can see the effects of gravity. None of us can see wind, but we see the effects of wind. These are all natural laws that have been here since the beginning of time. And the law works for everyone, regardless of who you are. And you can use that law to have a better life. And hopefully I've shared something today that will help you to do just that. So I'm out of here. If you'd like to get my help personally, you can contact me at my email or my website, and I'd be glad to help you with a consultation. Have a great day, man. Thanks for joining me.